Safe to say it's been a tough couple of decades for the New York Knicks from being such a high market team, being in the mecca of basketball, but yet not being a hotbed for free agents. The best free agent the team signed has been Carmelo Anthony 10 years ago. And it's gotten so bad that your brother next door in the Brooklyn Nets are doing a better job at free agency than you guys are, as they picked up two of the players that you wanted. So it's safe to say that even with the minor amount of accomplishments, Knicks fans are always happy because they don't expect much from this team. And so far this free agency, I don't think Knicks fans are definitely happy about the outcome, with some word surrounding Kyrie Irving's trade, with a lot of things going around. The New York Knicks have still just only signed Jalen Brunson, a guy that's never been an All-Star, and signed the biggest contract for a non-All-Star ever in his NBA career. But I think we're all jumping the gun a little bit too much in New York Knicks, because I see the angle here. So let's talk about what the New York Knicks are trying to get done. Before we do that, hi, I'm FLB. I've been making basketball content on YouTube for a little minute now, and it's been picking up some traction. People seem to like the content, so if you like basketball and you need a fix for the offseason since we don't have meaningful basketball for a while, I'm your guy. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. First things first, after a pretty wild 2021, making the playoffs as a 4th seed, but your offensive struggles immediately hitting you like a bus, the New York Knicks had a lot of optimism for what the future is to come. I mean, this is the first time you've been in the playoffs in nearly a decade, and you needed just some form of reassurance that this team is actually looking towards something to win. And with Julius Randle becoming a fan favorite very fast, with him being the only guy willing to sign here and balling out, it's safe to say the 2022 season was a horrible disappointment. Julius Randle, after getting his money, seemed to lose all fervor to play defense, lose all his fervor to actually be hustling for rebounds, anything of the nature. His three-point shot abandoned him. He no longer can hit shots that way. League figured him out, so every single time he goes left, he has to get cut off, and he has to go right, and he's never been able to finish right. Just a lot of problems hit this team at the same time. And right now in this free agency, they look to fix some of those problems, and I think they're doing a pretty good job of that. First things first, yes, signing Jalen Brunson to that large of a contract seems very, very bad. But in my eyes right now, it's better to sign him to a contract at the age of 25, with him able to get better and having the keys to a team instead of playing number 2 next to Luka while still having other offensive options, than signing nobody. Just going back next season, running it back with the same lineup and just being mediocre again is not going to be enough to satiate these fans, and to be honest, to live up to anything that these owners probably want to do, even though God knows what they want to do. So you have to make some changes, and a young guard, 25 years old, that just had his best season ever and has room to get better, time to get better, and this contract is up when he's 29 to 30. You can get him off your books before he even hits late into his prime, so he's probably going to be still some levels of productive. Now, while it does suck that you got him on the books along with Evan Fournier, that's being paid all the way to 2025, but hey, you can't have all your problems solved in just one offseason. And even then, with a lot of contending teams looking for guards that can shoot, Lakers, Evan Fournier can probably fetch a pretty nice price, maybe get you back at least one first-round pick or a second-round pick, just something that you can get him off your books and just go young. And one thing this New York Knicks team has not done is hand over keys to RJ Barrett. I understand that RJ Barrett is a very good young player and he's shown flashes of what he could be, but I think he'd be further along his development if the New York Knicks finally just handed the keys over to him. Everybody in RJ Barrett's draft class, well, not everyone, but from Tyler Hero to Zion to Ja Morant, every single one of them has been able to be handed the keys in some facet. Tyler Hero got handed the second unit offense and was playing starters level minutes and still took the most shots on his team. Zion Williamson was given the keys in the second year, was able to show what he can do, become an all-star, and averaged 27 points per game on 60% shooting. Ja Morant became an MVP candidate because his teams trusted him. RJ Barrett, I feel like, has shown just as many flashes to be a two-way player and just develop his game as a lot of those guys, but he just was never given the opportunity, since the New York Knicks seem to be wanting to force this contention thing when it's just they don't have the free agent love or the, to be honest, just overall trade pieces to trade to be a contender. So with all the combination of things, I think signing Jalen Brunson is the first sign we see of this team just seem to understand that they need to hand these keys over to young guys and slowly build their way up. Julius Randle right now has been a lot of trade rumors, and I think the reason he has not been traded yet is but he has a trade kicker in his contract that says that if he's traded before June 30th, he gets, I think, a 13 million bonus over the next couple years of his contract or something of that nature. But if he's traded after July 6th, he gets only a 3.8 million. So right now, Dolan is just saving that money that he doesn't have to pay Julius Randle until they can trade him. And right now, he has a lot of suitors from the Hawks, to the Hornets, to a couple other teams around the NBA. And just getting him off the books and handing the keys over to the young guys seems to be the best course of action. Right now, New York Knicks fans do not favor him at all. He's definitely put a rift towards some of the fans. Right now, his attitude overall when he's playing, when things aren't going his way, is wild. He's happy as hell when he has 30 points, but you're down by 20, and he's mad as hell when he's having a bad game, but everybody else is playing well and you have a win. That's not the sign of a leader. That's not the sign of somebody that you want to be the largest paid player on your team. So parting ways with him is the best course of action. And right now, with Jalen Brunson in the lineup, handing the keys over to RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish finally getting some burn, Obi Toppin developing slowly, Emmanuel quickly being one of the better young guards in the NBA that just hasn't gotten crazy opportunity, Quentin Grimes showing certain flashes, re-signing Mitchell Robinson. The team has its core. They have the young assets to later, in maybe a year or two, trade up and find that all-star that can push this team over the level, with RJ Barrett being a second option, with Jalen Brunson being a second or third option of that nature. But right now just isn't the time, and I think they're realizing that and just finally clearing house, and since they do have the money to sign that big free agent or just to hand the keys over to the young guys. And I completely understand where they're coming from. So let me know guys in the comments section below. Do you think this is where the New York Knicks is heading? I think it is, and I would love to see this team actually just hit the restart button a little bit and really just let these young guys run and show what they can do. With that being said, this is FLB. That's my time, and I'm out.